Previously on, well, lyrically speaking.
If we just go back into the past a little bit and we look at his One Direction days, if you notice his specific style, it was more collared shirts and skinny jeans.
The entire Wicked era was trolled and made fun of, but of course, there are genuine Broadway fans like our wonderful, awesome, super cool co host, Dyuti. She's staring at me. They seem to actually enjoy the movie and the musical. Of course, it has had a lot of controversies because of the way that Ariana and Cynthia have been responding to the hate by calling them out or even just choosing to conceal some information when they're being interviewed, which I feel like they have the right to do that. But again, some people think it's unfair because as artists, they're obliged to answer these questions. I mean, yes, they're playing the role of their character, but like they're portraying themselves as well. Of course, at one point, they identify themselves with the character, but they still have to think about their personal public image.
I think it's also like a supply demand kind of issue, and everyone's just doing their jobs because it's the press's responsibility to get answers out of actors and celebrities, but it's also the actor's job to make sure they're not spoiling the entire process and the making of the film for
Oh yeah.
people.
Can we cue some Tom Holland clips, please?
Oh, yes, I was thinking about that. People enjoy it when you're spoiling it for them because you get to witness this first-hand information. But at the same time, people who just want to enjoy what's come out of the 2 3 years that they spent in production, all the press tours and the working together and everything that happened before they started filming. I mean, from casting to trying your first dress fitting. I mean, all of these are
Yeah.
part of what makes the movie the movie. It makes sense for some people, like really diehard fans. They obviously want to get the behind the scenes and pictures and videos of everything that went into the production process. But overall, I think despite how much they've gotten trolled and how much they've had to endure through the whole 2 years, the movie genuinely did really well at box office.
Yeah.
It becomes sort of like a movement, and it was really intricate and poetic. I've watched the original play, I've seen the movie, I've watched, so many different adaptations of it. And I think each time, with every different person that tries to portray the characters, they bring something of themselves into the character, and it adds another layer to the character. Honestly, I enjoyed seeing their adaptation of it, making it into a movie, and then the second part they did it really well, and I liked how they added their own songs. They added Kristen Chenoweth and Idina Menzel. So as a Wicked fan, I couldn't feel more satisfied.
All right, now time for another hot take. So, you guys are listening to this episode with one Wicked fan and one person who has only heard about it like every single day from Duty. But I mean, it feels very artificial sometimes.
They did make it really commercialized.
It is really, yeah, exactly. It is really commercialized. I've seen like milkshakes with Wicked. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Promotion has gone too far. And the only thing I knew Ariana, Cynthia, pink, green, the pointy hat, and the tiara. That's all. I don't know a thing about Wicked. So I think if they would have promoted what the actual play is about as well, the purpose or the message I feel like was unclear at times. At interviews, they'd just be like, yeah, it was very fun, it was very fulfilling. Yes, they don't want to give spoilers, makes sense, but I didn't even know what it was about. No matter what interview I watched, it just didn't give me enough context to understand what they're doing.
Yeah, that makes sense. It did feel very limited in certain places, and I feel like if you didn't know the background to Wicked, you wouldn't understand the movie itself.
And then also, what's with the trolling of the baldness? I've seen so many TikToks about this. We've all watched those Ariana and Cynthia like TikToks and reels, and we're like, they're pretty close to say the least. I think it's cute. I really think it is. And it's become a meme as well, like them having like dramatic reactions to things or being super overprotective of each other. And yeah, I mean, they're definitely getting trolled for how close they are in their relationship, during the tour or in general. But I mean, it makes sense if you spend this much time with your co-actor, right? You're bound to get close. What do you think about that?
I think it really puts it into perspective when you realize how much they've both wanted this in their life and finally achieving that, being able to play a character you've idolized since you were a young,
Yeah.
to embody that character beyond just a movie, being that character for almost 3 years now. It makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
You really see how it all adds up into this sort of persona that they both ended up showing and creating.
Mhm.
Personally, I just didn't see any issue with it. Maybe it's just because I'm biased, because I love Wicked and I love both of them. But it really makes so much sense when you see how they've manifested it for themselves.
Mhm. Being in the public eye definitely opens you up to scrutiny, and having to model your character in front of the public, but also keeping your authenticity, I feel like is just a very big challenge. So you kind of have to balance those things. You have to fulfill your role even outside of the set,
Mhm.
but at the same time, you have to be authentic to yourself. That's also something that triggers them to cry from time to time when they're asked personal questions or something about their characters or something about how they feel about their character. Mhm.
Those clips are what people have like extracted and they've kind of blown it up as an issue when it's really not that much of an issue.
Yeah, at this point, no one cares about what they really have to say, which is the important stuff, like
Mhm.
their experiences.
Thank you for listening. We've reached the end of our ninth episode. We hope you enjoyed our hot takes and feel free to comment if you disagree.
All comments are welcome, but not all of them are acceptable. Anyway, without further ado, we declare our ninth episode of Well, Lyrically Speaking as complete.
Until next time, over analytical folks.